Yeah, Dorothy Smith now talks about a change in the sociological discourse. So the conventional discourse was more of a male-dominated. She called it as masculine sociology. Not only their methods were different, uh, their even topics or the focus on the issues was altogether different. They might have focused on paid labor. They might have focused on politics, formal organizations, and these formal organizations might be excluding the women. In other words, these sociologists have ignored women's word of reproduction, um, the rearing of the children, the grooming of the children, the socialization of the children, the household labor. Even those who focused on inequalities, when we talk about men and women, we see they are in unequal positions. That's a standpoint kind of approach. So even those who try to look into the powerful and powerless, and who try to look into the issues of the powerless, they ignored women. So they focused on inequalities at a different level, maybe at the macro level, rather than at the micro level. So more in the public sphere rather than in the private sphere. So that is where the bifurcation of consciousness comes. That's the concept of bifurcation of consciousness. So there is a split between the word. One, the word which is actually experienced by focus is on women, actually experienced, or women or any entity which is a powerless entity. And the other is the dominant view to which one must adapt. Dominant view might be the rules and regulations where a person is employed, where a person is working. So person has to be subservient to these rules and regulations, to the followers of those rules and regulations. And these might be different than what the person is experiencing at that situation. The rules might be that there is a merit, there is equality, but in actuality, the women or the other powerless persons might have a different kind of experience of that reality. So, dominant view of those in power, now that is reflected in the sociological theories. So, subordinate groups have to follow the rules and regulations, so they get conditioned to that, and maybe they suppress their personal experiences or maybe conflicts as well. And even those in power, they don't know what are the feelings of those who are under them, who are in the subordinate kind of positions. They might be ignorant or oblivious of the views of subordinates. But the people in power, they are looking into the functioning of the system. And the subordinates really contribute a lot to the smooth functioning of the system. As I said, that the secretary is doing a lot of office work, and the whole, let's say, manager's work is dependent on the working of the secretary. But her experience, her position is altogether different. So governing modes of the professions have to be followed. The subordinates must adapt to the rules of the game, and in most of the cases, women are placed in subordinate positions. Very in rare kind of situations, women might be at the decision-making level, the board of directors, or in managerial kind of positions. they are mostly considered as in subordinate positions. So they have to adapt to the rules and regulations of the system. So during the process of this adaptation, they might lose their own identity. They might alienate from their true self. And in this scenario, the actual experiences of women are not considered, are not accounted for. And in many cases, the sociological researches do not take care of that section of the society. So Dorothy is saying, or let's say advocating the study of the women who are working in these institutions, let's say the positions of subordinate level. And we see that there could be another word which might be considered as institutional ethnography for the study of women's perspectives, women's experiences, women's feelings. So that is how she is trying to say that the sociological approach has to follow now a course of action which considers the women issues as well.